Alright guys, doing a VOD here from game 2 tonight. We're just going to go over stuff. I'm starting it in the laning phase portion of this since they did something that's kind of old and unique now, I guess, in the sense that they lane swapped. So since we have a Draven and they technically have a better turret dive than us with the Leona, and then also Sivir has Spell Shield. All we should be worrying about in this stage is getting vision for Alex and probably not ganking this because we want to dive the bottom lane. And it has to be basically Mystic baiting out the are taking the aggro first and then spell shielding whoever Maokai tries to W onto, and then you guys get hopefully the kill transferred to Peridian to get some of his early game stacks. I know he won't have a ton of stacks, or just get an early kill on the central so he can really start out pressuring the Vi, because the early parts of this game he would just dominate the Vi if we gave him the opportunity to. So this is something extremely unique. I don't I don't blame you guys for any of this stuff that happened in the early parts of the game because this is just something really random that they decided to do to us. So it's not a big deal how things turned out. We ended up getting 2 kills on Sivir, but we got one back to Peridian, and we got an extra plate because, like Peridian was saying, you got to just focus on your farm there too, buddy. But like Purdy was saying, he has an attack speed buff. So we got an extra plate. He ended up being up 1,000 gold by the time you guys switched back, even though she had um, an extra. Sorry, I didn't actually see it on the thing because I turned my head or something. I can't remember. I didn't see the actual fight. Um, what we were yeah. So Purdy ends up being up 1,000 gold by the time that we lane swap back. So um, yeah, we have to also remember they have heal. Like everything here really matters. They have heal. They have. I think she was only level 2 when you fought there, but she still has both of her stuns, so it's a lot harder for us to manage this. But like I said, this is just a random fucking lane swap that they try to do. So if it ever happens for whatever reason again, we should just focus on getting him vision in the river. So if someone does come to basically 3-man dive him, he can just back up. And then we can look to make plays exactly right here on this guy because all we have to do is black shield um, his W, and it's a pretty long cooldown. Look, he just fucking suicided basically. So good job, you two there. And then we're also doing a lot better in the farm right now, down bottom. So we're up 10 CS. We're down a kill, but we got the stack. Look, we're just checking the gold. We're doing well there. Um, Toxic, something that you can keep doing. I think you did it in 2 games tonight. You're just staying in the lane too long. I know if you're close to part of an item or something, just don't stay out too long without no mana though, because something can happen, and if you would have just backed early and used your TP earlier, it would just benefited us greatly. I know you want to try to wait and get your bigger parts of your items, but sometimes we just need to have better back timings, and that's for every lane. But I know for sure tonight you did it twice, I'm pretty sure. So you gotta just go back, use your TP if you feel like you need to, or just fucking run back the lane or look for a TP play somewhere else. I think two of the biggest things in general, like this is one of the times where you just stay in the lane too long now. You know, Vi's on your side, and the wave is kind of on his side of the lane. You should just be going back at this point. Um, Mystic's getting vision, I think, right now for us. Yeah, he just got his vision, so you're perfectly safe on that side. Good job, Mystic, going and seeing that opportunity for that. And this is where you guys make a really nice. Central makes a good counter gank, so good job coming up there. Um, Central, good job, Alex, surviving all that shit too. So immediately with that, um, yeah, we can make. I believe Vi, the first time she killed Alex, used her flash. So now we have vision on her entire bottom side. Um, we should have priority in the bottom lane. If I don't know if you guys need to spend right now, this is when you guys could be communicating um, that we can do dragon right now or look to invade the second buff. Dragon is the simplest choice of this, so we could easily be talking about doing dragon right away. Remember, like this is something we haven't talked about in a while, is if we have priority somewhere, we can easily look to get an earlier dragon than we normally do. Like our goal as a team is 7.5 minutes to 8 minutes get first dragons if it's an option for us. So right now, no matter what, our 4 versus 4 is way stronger than theirs. And the only thing we have to track is does Alex and the other top laner have TP? They both don't. So our 4 versus 4 is way stronger right now because Oriana versus Zillion level 6s right now. Oriana is way better in the team fights, especially since we have Black Shield from Morgana. So Central's way stronger than the Vi too. Like we should absolutely be talking about doing Dragon right now because we have bottom lane priority. We can shove them in. Toxic should be going back and resetting. He could be letting you guys know that. Central's just in base right now too, so this is easily us going to reestablish control of the river and taking this dragon. Because if they come to us and they steal the mountain dragon, it's not the worst thing in the world. But now we're gonna win a big team fight because we're a lot stronger than they are in our 4-man group. So try to start looking towards dragon earlier in the game when we have basically priority on it. Like our 4-man right now is way better than theirs, especially since we have BF to their pickaxe. Like just all these small details, we're way stronger as a group right now. So, and on top of us doing dragon right now, we have all the vision in the world that we need now because Mystic saw an opportunity to go get vision, and he placed vision down in the enemy jungle, so we can track where their jungler is if they are coming to contest it. So it's really important. Okay, I think Central's clearing out the ward right now. Yep. So literally right then, we could have easily been talking about doing this. This is also why you need to go back earlier, Toxic, because this kind of stuff, if we want to try to invade, you need to know what time it is on the map, so you automatically know that you should be back in lane ready to roll for the team if we're going to try to do stuff like this. This is why you can't stay out in the lane too long for just a bigger part of an item, because now they have a numbers advantage just in the sense that he can rotate over to them faster. But unfortunately, we missed this flash binding here. But I don't believe we get this. We just have to retreat, I think, because of the Zillion. So this is exactly what we're talking about. Like, we could have easily just taken that as a group if you would have just bought sooner. The Maokai roamed down too, so they clearly were communicating that we might do that right now too. I want to go back real fast. But this is why the easier play would have been do dragon there though, because we had vision in their jungle and we don't need to take the second buff if we can just take the dragon right there. I just want to go back and see the Maokai's pathing and how he got here. Because he doesn't have TP. We're pinging that already. I like where we're heads at here, Central, of going to go invade that. But since we have vision, the easiest thing is the dragon, so we should just be doing that. But we need Toxic to go back on time. Okay, he just ran down river. Okay. So yeah, it would have even more so since we had vision. It would have been a lot simpler if we just did dragon because the Alex was just coming back to lane 2, so Maokai could just run down first since neither one of them have TP. So still good thought process of looking to invade. We just need X, Y, and Z to happen first, so it's a lot safer for you guys. We just talked about the 4 versus 4 is um, in our favor. So uh, um, so yeah, remember. So just as an example of things we can look to improve on. So when we're looking to make plays like that as a team, which is what we want to do, we could have had Dragon like a minute and a half ago, which have been one of our fastest dragons. Good job, Mystic, going up there to help him kind of just shove it so he can go back right away. And then we're looking for more vision as well. This is something, yeah, it's just a shallow ward, like that's fine since we don't really know where their team is. So now the conversation should always be, Alex should be letting you guys know right now that Maokai now has TP, and you cannot, you shouldn't be contesting that ward like that. I know you guys end up winning this, but just you have no idea where their jungler was though. These guys are insane though. Like your item advantage right now, they shouldn't be trying to do that because in the same sense for them, they don't know where Central is. But we just have to make smarter plays here. I know you guys get um, pretty much everything off of this because they're making mistakes, but just in general is what I'm talking about. We don't know where the jungler is. Central isn't like absolutely on top of you. We can't really try to make plays for that to save a pink ward because it could easily go in the other way. So just the start of this game, though, look, we got a 2K gold lead at 9.5 minutes. So again, we could easily be now. Alex can. Alex should be running the dragon with you right now, Central. So Alex, you should just be running down the dragon because you have teleport to go back up there. It's just you being there would just secure it really, really easily. You should be throwing your binding at the Leona there, Mystic. She's already, even if you bind her, nothing really is going to come of it much because she has spell shield. You should just hit the Leona there. You could have easily gotten her flash out of her there and then taken advantage. So remember, you guys are ahead there. You're right to want to fight, but just switch your targets sooner. There's no reason to keep going deep for the Sivir. So now we're getting the dragon for free, which is good. We have 2 wards in their jungle. One's the one right over the dragon pit. So you guys are doing fucking great right now. Look, we're up 2.3k and a dragon right now. We got a million farm advantage mid lane. We're even in jungle and farm. We're crushing top lane. Like this game is completely in our control again. And this is just where we start becoming way too cocky and taking fights in corridors versus a zillion Sivir, and we're not talking about zillion alts as well. So you guys have to. This is great proof of like you guys easily. We could be easily 4 games to 0 from the first 2 weeks, but it's fine. Like we're gonna have growing pains just like every fucking team has, but We have to make sure that we put in the effort mentally to want to like make those improvements as we continue to play these matches. The next week we play um, a team that is probably one of the worst in our division. They are the only team without a win currently. Here's a here's another example of us not knowing where the jungler is, and we're trying to take fights. And we're not talking about teleports enough ahead of time because we just used it on Toxic, and Zillion still has it. So you can see this is the fight I was talking about, Peridian, where you could have healed Central, by the way. See, we get the first kill still, but once the completion of the um, Zillion ult comes is where we missed the Orianna ult too. But once that's completed is where we really get get into a shady situation because now Alex gets basically locked up really hard. Zillion's here, and they bait out a lot of our cooldowns, which is rough. But then we do the same thing that we always do. We continue to keep pressing forward when we have to realize Maokai is going to be TPing here now, and his ultimate's going to shit all over us. Because unfortunately, Alex got stunned when he was ulting. So this is where we just start giving them gold back when we need to just be more aware and as always take small wins. You guys get that first kill, get the fuck out of there. Just we could have easily gotten more from that if we just played that better too. From many angles, like the Zillion had TP, both top laners had TP. We're fighting in a corridor like I was referring to earlier versus Sivir Zillion, and we don't want to do that versus this team. So we gave them gold back. We're still almost up 2K though, so we're still well in the driver's seat. But this is where you guys mentally just have to stay with it. We're still perfectly fine at this point of the game. But the bummer about that is look at Sivir's score now. Sivir got two more kills there. She's the one who got the kills. So now their late game scaler is getting there sooner. So now we have no objective on the bottom side of the map right now. We are respawning. We know that the Leona is going to have to go back. So this is when we should be going for Herald right now. We should just be running over to Herald right now, the two-man group. There is your chickens, your red, everything coming up. So like the time efficiency of going to Herald right now is the right call. So it should be Mystic and Central going over to Herald. We have top lane priority still. The Maokai cannot fight Alex at all. And mid lane is perfectly even. Zillion has a little bit quicker push over Toxic, but we should be doing Herald right here. Remember, back timings is perfectly, it's very important. It's only a one plating left on the turret. It's going to go down regardless. I know it's the first turret, but we can get Herald and then just get a return turret and hopefully get more plates too because it's only 12 minutes in the game. So just remember, we got to um, look at stuff like that more often. You guys are all just in base. We're worried about losing the first turret. It's fine. It's going to happen sometimes. We should just be like, oh, she has to go back right now that we're already here in base. And your positioning again here too, Mystic, is really poor. You get the flash out, but now you have to just be aware of your health. Just let them do their thing. Your black shield and your Q is on cooldown. Just get out of there. Because this is your lane opponent. You have to know the range of their spells too. So now we wasted Central's time on the map, and we gave them a kill in a 3 versus 2. We have to be more efficient with our time spent. But this is even a bigger reason why we should have been just making a play for the objective here instead of worrying about one turret going down that they've already gotten 4 plates on. Herald's going to give us a bigger return than saving that turret. So now they have all the pressure in the world too on the bottom side. So if they wanted to, they could just walk vision up on us. See, just that little exchange, we lost 2 pink wards from it too. Where Leona would probably went back, Sivir probably would have just shoved to the turret, and then potentially went back as well to switch to top lane. So now they get to take over Central's jungle. They probably, excuse me, probably get some vision. Doesn't look like they had any wards on them though, so there's no vision extended. But this is also now, we don't have control over anything because of the timing of this. We're basically trying to make up for what just happened in the bot lane now, Mystic dying and them getting the turret. So this is where the time efficiency shit really matters, because look, even the positioning, we saw them run across mid. We should have already left the pit. Like, there's no reason that we should have been staying in the pit this long. We literally watched them all run across mid right here. You'll see them literally just go this way. We should have immediately be leaving the pit, especially since it doesn't look like we have a pink or anything on it. There's a ward there to start. I see them pinging you. But look, you can see them literally running across right now. We just have to exit top lane at this point. We can't be greedy and try to overstay. Like, all three of you guys should be calling to get out of there and just running out through top lane. So within just a few minutes, our 2K gold lead is now completely gone. And this is just simple stuff that you guys could easily, the Herald part that I was talking about before, we talk about all the time, talking about our back timings and what we're going to be doing. So even when you're dead, you could be easily just immediately talking about, okay, I'm dead, what can I do when I respawn? And you want to first look at um, objective-based thinking. So literally, even Scuttle Crab on the opposite side of the map, you know the Vi and the Leona's not going to be there. So if that's up, your red buff spawning. So making even just going straight to gank top lane and calling for a dive, even with Mystic or something along those lines, we could do, because then you have that side to retreat to, because you have all three of your camps would have been up at that time. So Central and Mystic, when you guys are dead, or if you're just basing, you guys can easily be talking about still where you want to go to next. So we can just do more of the, um, just make the efficiency of our time so much better spent. Because look, they got Herald. We're still dead even though they had that. But mentally right now, you guys are starting to fade away. We got to just remember we're still in this shit. We got really strong AD carry. Our farm mid lane is insanely good, and our jungler's super strong. So we're still well in this game. We just have to play really smart. And again, we lose. I think it was in the first game actually. We're staying at turrets too long that are gonna go down no matter what. It's fine if a turret goes down. You don't have to die with the turret. Just let the turret go down and then fucking talk about what you're gonna do afterwards, how we're gonna reset. And we almost let that fucking Herald get a charge off too. Stop worrying about the farm and kill the fucking Herald. Because if you got a charge off, it would have been awful. So now this is a common theme of ours too. Is um, so Toxic needs to go back to base right now as well because he has to buy. We have a dragon coming up in a minute. Central's clearing his topside jungle, which is the right thing to do because he could easily clear topside jungle and then reset if he has to. I don't think he has to reset, but you guys should not be pushing up onto this turret um, because we need to reset mid lane for the dragon right now. We need to get vision control in their side of the jungle or in the river right now. We should not be at that turret. We can easily come back and get this turret. We need to be talking about setting up for the objective that's coming up. Are we going to contest it right now or not? Are we going to give it up? Our reset timing needs to be quicker. It needs to be on point. Now there's 30 seconds till dragon. See, when we do set up plays for vision or just gain control back, it shouldn't just be one person by themselves doing it. It should be you guys as a group. That's why you guys have to go reset. So you easily can reset and then still pretty can come run down bottom lane, get the two waves, then rotate over. Then Toxic and Mystic can run together after they shove mid together. So then our timing is a lot better because now we're just dropping wards and then our back timing's fucked up and they're just gonna clear our vision out and they're gonna get priority over the fucking dragon most likely. So this is why you guys have to have better time efficiency. Back timing is the most important part of small objectives being taken every game. And now we're also, this is a ocean dragon, I believe. So no matter what, we just got the blue buff, which is great. We just chunked down that mid turret to half. This is an easy example of when you guys should immediately be retreating and going back mid, because now we just take the mid turret. Because it's the first ocean dragon, and their team, like ocean dragon, is dog shit for them. Like it's kind of good on Zillion and Sivir, but it's not anything amazing. You should easily be making a play for mid position right now for that turret, because we should be saying mid turrets at 30%, and this is an ocean dragon. It's it's perfectly. It's not good. It's not great for either one of the teams. Obviously, if we can get it for free, we'll take it. But this is why you guys. Um, this is where Alex dies too. We shouldn't be just challenging, and this is also why back timings are important because you could just run down to Dragon from base and all that stuff. But just how the plays are set up, we could be doing it like just so different. Pretty fucking sick alt here. So luckily, what mistake did they just make that they should never do? On top of it being an ocean dragon, is they just fought you 3 versus 4 without their strongest player. Like that's just insanity. But just this is the thing. I'm not trying to take away from what you guys just did there. That ended up being good. Just your thought process versus better teams has to be clear because if you're playing one of the top 2 or 3 teams, you're going to get punished for stuff because they're not going to take fights like that. So they're going to get a 1 for 0 there, and you may get ocean. Um, or they may just run it up mid lane because we gave them all that priority. So you guys really need to start talking about calling for people to go back on time for stuff. So literally, it's a minute out. If it's central or mystic calling, shot calling, you guys need to just say, "I need you guys to go back to base if you haven't in a minute because we're setting up vision for dragon in like 20 seconds." That's all you have to say, and then all of you guys need to follow that, and no disagreeing. If you just spent, then you're fine to stay in the lane. Oh wow, I didn't even notice that. Just chilling in that fucking little area. Okay, so now we're still we just got those 3 kills, so we got I don't think we got a shutdown on the Vi. Maybe we did. We got a shutdown on the Leona for sure. So we're up almost 2K again. So we're still doing great right now. So now we need to be talking about where we want to go. There's no Herald left, no Dragon for a while. So the most important thing for us is mid tier 1 or top tier 1. So the first conversation should be, let's get vision in the top side of their jungle because it connects to both of those lanes. So now you guys should immediately be looking for that. And the easiest thing you guys can do, and this is going to be a little bit different, is Alex should be mid lane right now while the four of you are making plays in their jungle and the top side of um, the map. Our wave management bottom lane is already great. Alex should not be running there. He should be mid lane, and you four should be going on the top side. We should be getting vision all over everything and starting to smother them because we still have a big advantage because of if you just bait them to fucking engage on you with the Vi, you guys literally just kite backwards because Sivir's auto attack range is so short. You're perfectly fine. You just set up fucking plays for the Oriana ult. And then Alex is way stronger than the Maokai still right now in a 1 versus 1 scenario. So he can easily get that turret um, on the Maokai. And then even better, he can literally just fucking um, shove him to turret and then rotate. Look, he has 2 levels on the guy. So we need to be talking about what we want to do, uh, like ahead of time. And right now, we want the 2 outer tier 1 turrets as our only objective besides obtaining vision. So we need to be doing that as a group, though. This is where we need to be getting vision as a group. So now they put Zillion bottom because he can just contest with Alex because they're the same level and they both have teleport. So this is actually perfectly fine with this lane assignment. The only problem is our 3-man group. I do not believe will beat their 3-man group right now because if they just focus central, then we're butt fucked. But it just depends on the black shielding from Mystic, so it'd be pretty close because Prydian and the Sivir are really strong right now. As soon as they jumped on you, you immediately should have ulted though, Mystic. Like this is 3 seconds behind, and now you're ulting. You should just immediately do it. This is why you guys need to look at your mini maps a lot more often. Good turn there. Look, and Alex can fucking poop on him. But this is where we should just be looking to push top lane as a group now, having Toxic rotate to us, and we should just be pushing the lane together. But this is also like we know where their bottom lane is, and they're rotating down towards you. Like we give up free gold again here. Like we just have to. Yeah. We just can't. As soon as they leave lane like that too, like we just have to. This happens to everyone, so I'm not just saying toxic specifically, but toxic in this case, you need to recognize that they leave lane. So you shouldn't be focusing on harassing the Maokai. You should just be shoving the fucking wave and then getting out of there. You should just be. This is also going back to the point where we needed to get vision as a group instead of just randomly getting into the lanes earlier. Yeah, because this would never happen in Toxic if we just established vision first. You get Maokai's TP for free, which is nice, but now they're just getting the inner for free because of how things transpired. And I believe they get a kill here too, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, more free gold that we can't be given away. So again, our we should be looking at what objectives and knowing what their back timing is. We should be having Toxic run top lane right now. Because we know their back timings. The Sivir has to go back right now. The turret top lane is for free now. Just easy macro. See, we're just wasting time. We could have easily had him on that top turret for a good 15 seconds by himself by the time the Sivir even got out of base. You guys don't have to have everything shot called to you either. If the whole team is fucking, this is another example of us overextending too. Fairly certain here. Overstaying because we don't have um, Central yet, and Peridian's not with you guys. I don't remember if they engage on you or not. Why didn't it show Central on my mini map till right now? But where you guys got the mid turret, but it's also the riskier of the place because top lane would have been easier if we just sent someone there originally. But now we need to reset vision for Dragon because Dragon's up in a minute. And again, this is where I believe this is where you guys position mid appropriately this time, which is good. But we don't do it right away. We like take a minute. This should be second nature to you guys by now to position on the mid side. Alex is already there shoving, getting blue buff, which is fine. Now we just immediately, again, this is the second dragon, immediately just go right around and position on the mid side. This is another ocean if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember what this one is. Ocean again. Yeah. You guys already have vision of them, so it's easier for you to just position, like make a macro play on them because you had vision. And you still do. So this is good. See, this is smart. So immediately since they finished this though, we probably should just already be exiting um, the lane outside of their turret. Um, but like this is what I was talking about earlier as well. Alex, you should just be positioning on the far side so you cannot get stunned and your ult just gets us out of this fight no matter what. So we can easily take the turret right still. So you guys are right. Alex, you need to be positioned on the other side though so you cannot get stunned. You should not be trying to engage either like that. And we should still be calling to disengage here because we don't have, again, this is a Sivir Zillion and an AoE situation here. This is rough. And the Zillion ult is something we have to like. Zillion is one of the champions I think we've always struggled versus. There's a stopwatch we weren't aware of as well. So you guys made the right macro play. You even could have taken the turret like you did. Alex, you just need to be positioned on the far side so nobody can fuck with your ult. And then we just clearly get out. We just straight disengage. Because look at Sivir now. She has 10 kills. She's insanely strong. I'm pretty sure if she uses her spell shield on the knockback, she'd probably beat Peridian 1 versus 1 at this point. It'd be really close, but I'm pretty sure she would win. Because oh, never mind, she would win. Look at her items. She has an extra item, full item. This is also kind of what Alex was saying to Peridian. We need to do a better job of getting you resources because your farm is low this game. But that usually comes from the laning phase, I think, because we usually should have more farm in the laning phase than we do. But that happens in a lot of games in different lanes too. But so now again, just looking at the map, Baron is the big objective. Look at the gold. We're still almost up 2K, so we're still doing fine. 2K means a lot less at this point of the game, but we have to realize that we're still really strong. We just need to um, keep our cool. And if you guys look though, at the vision right now compared to them, they're killing us in vision. This is the part of the game where we always start to struggle. Is we start tapering off on our vision control, and the other team keeps going on theirs. They have vision all over the place, and we don't have vision. This is where we have to do a better job of um, establishing vision, but you can't expect each other to do it by yourselves. You guys have to group up and do it. Central, you should have your sweeper by now too. This is 23 minutes into the game. We need a second sweeper. So they're doing the same thing again where they have the Zillion versus Alex, which is actually fine because Alex should be letting you guys know at this point too that um, the last time they fought, as long as he didn't get stunned, Alex just fucking destroys him. But this is where exactly what I was just talking about. We don't have vision control, and now Alex is overextended, and they're just gonna rotate on him. So you guys do a good job of recognizing that there's two people down there, so we take the fight. This is exactly what you guys should be doing, but Alex, you need to be more careful on overextending here too in these side lanes. And you don't want to auto attack that the minion or the ward is already blocked out of vision. Just fucking you guys just wasted 3 auto attacks on that stupid ward when we need to literally burst this thing down as fast as possible. 3 auto attacks matter, especially when it's um, Peridian and Toxic, because Toxic, your passive even adds damage. So this is Toxic does a good job of going back here. He has teleport, so he should be going back, but we should be immediately resetting after this one because you guys have fucking ton of gold, I bet, in your pockets. So yeah, good. So now the next objective for us would be Dragon would be the next thing that comes up. So we would want to take over the bottom side, and there's a tier 2 turret there still too. I don't. This is also just perfect example of why you reset faster instead of roaming into their jungle here kind of thing. Just all of you, like you didn't have to walk all 3 of you didn't have to walk the minions up the lane there. You just want to take the turret and reset. Um, but yeah, so the tier 2 turrets is what we want to be our objective here. So since Dragon would be the next thing and we have Baron buff, we would want to push through bottom and then basically retreat to the dragon when it sits up. So should be doing wave management mid and bottom, so you can have Alex mid here, and the four of you go bottom. We have to wait for central, and if it's like say central didn't die here too, and we are in the map. If it's cloud or ocean, you guys can do it on the retreat. We don't want to waste Baron buff. And we have to talk about they have really good wave clear right now, so we could actually run a 3-2. Um, so we split up their wave clear, and then our super minions will be in two lanes, and you could easily do um, get a crack a turret with the super minions. 3-2 is perfectly fine because you don't want to split off of the team um, as a 4-1 because if they rotate faster because they have Zillion and Sivir alt, like it'd be a lot harder. So we just whiffed, kind of wasted the Ornn alt, and we just got a nice shockwave from the Orianna from Toxic here. But look at our hit points because what I've been talking about the whole game is fighting in a fucking corridor versus Zillion and um, Sivir, and then the Leona hits you guy with a 4-man fucking stun. So this is the point where we lose the game because we should be perfectly fine with retreating to the dragon and not wasting our Baron buff, the time of the Baron buff remaining. We shouldn't be wasting ultimates like that. We shouldn't be fighting and where it's a strength for the enemy team either. Um, you guys clearly look. We're still up gold right now too. Like this is we just get too excited in game two, and then if one thing goes bad, then we kind of just start leaning into it. Basically, we did. You guys were doing great the whole game. The mid part of the game, we need to do a better job of vision control together. We need to be talking about more of where we're going to move to if we are pressing an advantage. But it always starts with okay, we're going to go to the last outer turret. We want to go get the easy gold on the top side. So we need to get vision on their jungle on the top side though, so we can easily track them and then set up a counterplay to them, or just go kill them in their jungle if we set up vision good enough. Um, oh no, what did I do? That's that. Sorry, let's fix this here. Okay, so this is that fight again. So yeah, just this whole thing we already talked about. Oh, we'll listen to the 4-man Leona out there. It was just a 1-man Leona out there. I thought they alted. It must have been a Zillion bomb. Yep, double Zillion bomb. This is what I was talking about in the corridors. There's no way we can fight the Sivir Zillion. This is also my mistake too, guys. I shouldn't have let him have Zillion. I banned it the first game for a reason in the first phase because it's clearly his best champion. Even though I don't think this guy's a very good mid laner by any means. But this, if you look at his statistics, he has crazy good stats. He's like a 4.15 KDA on this over a whole bunch of games. So this is a drafting mistake by me. Obviously, you guys still could have won this game, but I still should have done better for you guys in the draft as well. So they have the inhibitor down. We're not dead though still. We don't have to worry about Baron for over a minute at least. We're still in this perfectly fine. But we have to make sure The most important part about us winning a fight now is Alex not getting stunned. So he has to have his ult hit, basically. Otherwise, we're in trouble. So now if we feel like we're on the defensive, or if you guys want to play a little defensive at this time, you still have to get vision on one side of the map together. Um, we just can't abandon vision. This is good too, Toxic. This game you have Blue Trinket, since the game is getting a little closer, back and forth kind of stuff. Just tracking them from their jungle would be really important, or from the jungle in general. So Mystic, good job getting vision on that side of the jungle there. So you guys are setting up a pick here. So the problem with this is if you get a pick, which is great, you have to immediately leave because of Toxic and Central not being there. And we also need to be, if you're doing this, um, I'm going to ask you guys a question right now too. What is the thing that we never talk about that I tell you guys to always ask about before we make a play? Because it's insanely important right here. And that would be teleport. You kill one of them with teleport, which is good. We immediately need to be just retreating. Yeah, we need to just exit out here um, as a group. And I think when you see the teleport Peridian, this is where you were talking about, you just got to exit with them so he can black shield you. Because if you get black shielded, you're fine. But this is where the fight needed to end though too. We should not have re-engaged or anything. We should have just been like, alright, Peridian's dead. He's a big source of our damage. There's no reason for us to be engaging again. So, A, you see teleport Peridian, you got to run with your support so you can get out of there. B, after one of our main sources of damage dies, you guys have to just basically slow the bleeding down. Don't try to keep fighting kind of thing. Let's just go back to it. So you guys do a really good job of getting a pick here. And you see the TP immediately. So boom. Ready? Now the TP's going. So now immediately you guys are leaving this way because you see the TP. Central and Toxic can easily run to you guys this way. Or Toxic, you also should be teleporting um, somewhere, like say you were on this side of the lane. Just say in a scenario where you were down here with Maokai. If you see this teleport, you should immediately teleport to this just because. Um, just to make it closer. Since you're midline, you're perfectly fine running there. I'm just giving you a scenario in case something like that happens. We need to be immediately on top of our teleport. Alex, same thing. Since you carry teleport too. Say you're down there with Maokai, he immediately teleports here, then you're immediately teleporting basically the closest place you can, which at this point would be a minion right next to him as well. But since you guys got a pick like this and you see it, you all have to exit this way. You don't run towards the teleport. Pretty. So this, you just come back down this way. Like, because he can't black shield you now. And your guys' pathing too, once you got to the tri-bush, would have been so simple. You would have actually ran towards Toxic, because Central can come to you guys easily too with how fast he is. So right then though, we're done with the fight already. We're just trying to get these two out of this. So, um, back timings, going back to base, and going back to base because we need to earlier, and then also going back to base because objectives are coming up. We need to do a better job of warding together, talking about we're going to make a play for this turret, so we need a ward first on this side of the map together. It doesn't mean it's going to be a deep ward. It just needs to be enough where you can track them if they do rotate to you guys. Another play that I talked to you guys about a decent amount of times here. Let me see if I can actually find a moment in the game when we have an advantage, is when we push a lane and then rotate basically over top of them to get an objective or establish better vision. Let me see if I can find something. Oh, this is the early part of the game. Sorry. Basically, what it is if you guys are in the lead. So say this is no, we'll talk about it from here. So I need to get a mid lane picture, basically. Let's not relive that. Okay, so say we're 4-man here and Alex is in one of the side lanes, okay? And we have the advantage. And we have vision, we have wards we can basically go put on the map. They're still an outer turret um, for us to take. Easily what you can do is, it's even more relevant whenever one of the turrets are gone. So say the mid turret is down, you basically shove this in, walk it up enough so they're gonna just retreat, and then you guys just rotate through their jungle basically. Not obviously not this way, but you go rotate here, establish vision, and then you can rotate to turrets. Because you're pushing them back, but you're also telling them they need to respond to this, because if you keep going, you're going to threaten taking that turret. So multiple of them are always going to be coming. So if you push it, say that first turret's gone, you push it so it's there, then you guys rotate literally into their jungle, and you just establish vision. You get vision, and then say this turret was still up. Now 3 of you can just rotate, take the turret, because you already have wave management set up here, and then Toxic can stay in the mid, or Peridian can stay in the mid and just wave clear. And you're just creating easy ways to establish vision control on them and take objectives for free. You can do the same thing right there with Dragon, basically. You can have one person start the Dragon ahead of time, um, or someone establishing the vision ahead of time for the Dragon. So Mystic could be rotating like as soon as we cleared this wave basically and you guys walk it forward, the Mystic can automatically be just walking to drop a ward here and then one down on the red like he did earlier. So you guys really need to do more of the vision control together, and then talking about doing it on your own, back timings, especially for objectives. So 6:45 in the game, 7:30 in the game. Those are buff control objectives. A, to help defend Central's jungle, or B, help Central invade their enemy jungle. Um, Talk about enemies back timing so we can sneak barons, because it seems like it happens to us more than we ever do that. Is you can clearly see them talking about bottom lane's going to go back, we can easily do a dragon right now, or you can do the dragon solo right now, they'd be telling to their jungler. But we need to be doing that. We need to be talking more about the information that's going on. But back timings is a really big part of our game that we need to improve on, as well as establishing vision together. And it needs to grow outside of just the laning phase, because a lot of the games where we lose, it's because they establish vision the entire mid to late part of the game, and we do a really poor job in comparison to them. When you guys are winning games, you guys do a better job of that, but it's a lot easier to establish vision when you're like shitting all over the enemy. So just keep that in mind. You guys are making good progress the last couple days. You guys should be really fucking proud of how you guys played game 1 and then how you responded game 3 and like just dominated them again. That's what you guys are capable of, but we have to not get frustrated if something goes poorly for you or for us as a group, and just keep talking through all the situations in the game because you guys are more than capable of coming back in games that we're down. This game we weren't really down like hardly at all. We just took a bad fight or two and they got a lead, then they got Baron and all that. So um, really good job tonight. Um, Central's hype speech for Game 3 is the greatest thing ever. Um, but we don't need that all the time, even though we love it so much. We have it pinned. You guys can listen to it. You guys are more than capable of 2-0ing every fucking team in this league. I don't give a shit. We're more than capable of doing it, and we're going to start doing it. So, really good job tonight, guys.